dig up times of all that once was, leaves me in wonder. In the cold winter stone, the reason is to my noise. As I sit in my solitude thinking, did I know you? As the door opens wide, a greeting is called. I stumble in darkness. I'm reaching the hands for the faraway times I need to hold on to. Oh, it's strange being here, but somehow you don't understand me. As my words are lost, I feel that I just don't belong here. Are we as the station appears, a hand kills my fears. I slowly raise.
Okay, guys, welcome back. What a crazy election, huh? Thank God the globalists didn't win. We got a lot to go over today. Today we're going to talk about Mandela effects as usual. We're going to talk about who are we now? Who are the people's names who have changed in this reality from what we remember? Now, when I say these are my Mandela effects, that's what I mean. I mean, these are personal effects that I remember the old way. I have anchor memories that tell me that, or I've looked up residual evidence of said name, okay? Most of my work is for the deep researchers, if you're interested in comprehensive lists. Now, before we get into the names today of most of these celebrities and politicians, we're going to go over something that came in the mail the other day, and it has to do with Mr. Robot. And if you watch Mr. Robot, it's a show on USA Network. And in season 2, one of the characters ends up in prison. And he has a prison journal. And so this prison journal has manifested into the real world. And you can order it, and it can come to your house. And here it is. It looks like a burnt binder, just like a regular composition book. But if you notice, and I've been looking at this for days and wondering, why would he name this the Red Wheelbarrow? Okay? And I kept looking at it, and looking at it, and looking at it, and then it came to me. The word wheelbarrow. Okay? As far as I remember, my whole life, it was WHEELBARREL, like a barrel that holds stuff, right? A wheelbarrow. How many people remember the wheelbarrow? These are just a few words that, since the last video I did about the words, these are new words. So, wheelbarrow. Of course, you know, people who watch Mr. Robot know that this whole show is jam-packed with Mandela clues, like the Berenstain thing. It's all in there. So if you look at Red Wheelbarrow, That's the word now. It's WHEELBARROW. 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 How many people out there remember wheelbarrow or wheelbarrow? Okay. The second word is vengeance. So saith the Lord, right? Vengeance. Gonna have vengeance, right? Well, that's the old way of saying vengeance. VENGENCE. Okay. But the new way is this. Vengeance. VENGEANCE. Okay? Unbelievable, right? Now, just to prove that our whole speech and our whole way of speaking is changing, how about the word itself, right? This, I've just noticed this a couple days ago. The word speech, much like speak, right? You spell speak, S-P-E-A-K, right? So why wouldn't speech be S-P-E-A-C-E-C-H, right? Speech, right? Nope. Then simplified. Now it's this. S-P-E-E-C-H. Speech. Speech, okay? So those are some of the 3 new words that I've noticed in the past week. And, you know, when I say a comprehensive list of stuff, there is no comprehensive list. The Mandela effects keep coming at such a numerous rate, it is impossible to keep up with such a phenomenon. The most you could do is, you know, write down the most you can do. And with that, we're going to start our list of celebrities' names that have changed in this reality. And here we go with number 1. To give him much respect, right? The great Rod Sterling from the Twilight Zone, right? Rod Sterling. This is the old spelling, R-O-D-S-T-E-R-L-I-N-G, Rod Sterling, like a sterling silver set. Okay, but if you watch the Twilight Zone now, in this reality, we have Mr. Rod Serling. Serling. I'm sure everyone knows this. Everybody gonna know this one. But I got 75 names on this list here. Okay, so that's number 1. Mr. Rod Serling. Then we got from the Who. From the Who, we got Pete. And I apologize if you know, some of the stuff bleeds through. Pete Townshend. Okay, that's the way I remember it. With Townshend being T-O-W-N-S-E-N-D. Okay, now this guy's name is Pete Townshend. That from the Who. You guys know Pete Townshend? It's news to me. News to me. And all these effects, anything that's an effect, this is as of, I would say, about 3 or 4 months ago when I was really into the research. I've added a couple names over time that I've noticed since then. But most of this is back in time a little bit. So, you know, with any effect, if you notice a change, you keep an eye on. It's basically, Mandela effects are things to keep an eye on. Because basically, what happens is they can change on the drop of a dime. You'll be going through life, and one day you might see it one way, and sure enough, it can flip-flop back and forth. I have seen this happen. So, all right, then we got probably one of the most famous names on the list, Christopher Reeves, Superman, right? Christopher Reeves, with Reeves being R-E-E-V-E-S. And the reason why this is so memorable in the dimension I'm from, is because the Superman curse, it was always said, was really strange because George Reeves, who played the original Superman, and Christopher Reeves had exactly the same last name. Okay, even though they supposedly weren't related, right? That's what made the Superman curse in our dimension just so bizarre. But and the Superman curse is still a thing, I guess, but not as creepy when his name now is Christopher Reeve. Reeve. Don't believe me? Look it up. Don't believe the effects? Look them up. Take 2 seconds for some research. See what you can find. See if you can find the old spelling. You want to reassure yourselves that this ain't happening, okay? Then we got another very famous lady, and this lady, she's got all kinds of effects, right? So this is Miss Sally Fields from Forrest Gump, right? And her famous quote, Sally Fields with an S, was, "They like me. They really like me." Okay? You could still even find her, I think, on Letterman, saying this quote, misquoting herself. Okay? Because now her name is Sally Field, and she says, "You like me. Right now, you like me." Come on, guys. You guys fall for this stuff? I can't ignore it. So anyway, we're gonna try to get through the list fast. So then we got a lady who's even had oil tankers named after her, and we got Condoleezza Rice, right? I think that's Bush's Secretary of State, or I believe, right? Condoleezza Rice, right? Everybody knows her, okay? Well, just pay attention to Condoleezza, right? We got Condoleezza. Oh, not anymore. Her name's been extended to have 2 E's and 2 Z's. Condoleezza. Condoleezza. Really strange. Really, really strange. Really strange. Okay. Condoleezza. Okay, then we get next on the list, guy who stuck up for Mrs. Clinton. My dad used to love this guy, Bruce Springsteen. Okay, spelled with this, just like Berenstain, kind of, right? You got Springsteen, Springsteen, Springsteen. Okay. Now he's this, Springsteen. It just looks so grammatically incorrect and just so dumbed down, right? Springsteen, Steen, Steen. It's so weird, you guys. So weird. All right, next we got Nicolas Cage, Mr. Cool. Nicholas being Nicholas, Nicolas Cage, right? Well, not anymore, because now he got simplified. Nicolas Cage. A lot of people say he's a time traveler. I've seen photos look like him, and I think it was the Civil War. But another strange, weird name change, right? See it again? Nicholas to Nicholas. Next we got an older star, Mr. Steven Seagal. Mr. Police Officer Steven Seagal. That's his name, Seagal. Segal, right? Steven Seagal. Now he's Steven the Seagal. Like he's like a sea witch or something, right? A Seagal. Seagal. Steven Seagal. Don't believe me? Look it up. Alright. I know them all to be facts, guys. Okay. Desi Arnaz had a famous saying. Arnaz being Arnez. Lucy, you've got some splaining to do. This guy said this almost every episode of the Lucy show, okay? Lucy, you've got some splaining to do. Now he's Desi Arnaz. And no, he does not have a catchphrase like that. He has apparently no catchphrase like that. Nothing even close. Desi Arnaz. That's just weird. Married to Lucille Ball, right? Desi Arnaz. This is one of my favorites because this guy's still all over the place. You're going to see him on IFC all the time. Okay? I found a video. I'll try to put it in a link below if I can. I'm not too tech savvy with this stuff, but as you guys know from my videos. But I found a video where it references both this man's names, right? It references his old name, Haley Joel Osment, as the guy who stars in The Sixth Sense. The kid who stars in The Sixth Sense, right? Haley Joel Osment. O-S-M-O-N-D, Osment. Okay? Now he's Osment. Haley Joel Osment. And like I said, I'll try to put a link to the video down below, but there are videos that reference both names in the same video, like the same, I don't know if it's TMZ, something like that. Keep a lookout for this guy's name to change pretty much right in front of you, okay? Okay, and next on the list, I've argued with my uncle. My uncle literally doesn't believe that it's even, I don't know, that it's even changed, even though I've shown him all of the memorabilia that's changed, right? So the next guy's name is Evel Knievel, okay? Spelled evil, spelled E-V-I-L, like evil, like Cruella the devil, right? Evil Knievel. And everybody knows now who studies Mandela Effect, it's Evel Knievel. E-V-E-L. Very strange. Very strange. Okay. Oh, next we got the guy who's the whole effect's named after, right? Nelson Mandela. That's the original spelling, guys, in the 80s. Before the resurrected guy came around. This was the spelling. Nelson Mandela. M-E-M-A-N-D-E-L-L-A. 2 L's, right? And of course, because of the effect, everyone knows he's missing an L out of his name now. It's Nelson Mandela. And, people have pointed out that in the middle of his name, he's got man and son, like the Manson. There's like a Manson, son of man reference in his name, right? A little complicated, but okay. Next on the list. Sorry, babe. You can't worship the devil just openly. You cannot just hand positions in your staff to known pedophiles and devil worshippers. You know who I'm talking about. The lady herself, right? There's the original spelling, and for about a month or a month and a half during the campaign, before the actual DNC decided that it would be her instead of Bernie, her name actually changed to 1 L, which so many people have picked up this thread since I've laid it down earlier, a couple months ago. I appreciate that. But as we all know, somehow she was able to change it back when she earned the nomination. Is that why she's so sick? A lot of people with Mandela effects are experiencing, bones aching, blood coming out of both ends, right? I experienced the same thing, right? We don't know what this is, but I would say we need to try to adapt to this effect because we don't want to make ourselves ill. We don't want a cognitive dissonance in our head to cause an illness, right? Just a theory, but seems to be a working theory. Something that seems to pay off over time if you apply it to your life. Anyway. Alright, next on the list. Hillary. And then we got Barbra Streisand. Barbara. Good old Barbra Streisand. B-A-R-B-A-R-A Streisand. Now, the lady is Barbara. Just totally simplified. Totally weird. not even really a name, right? How many people have ever even seen this spelling in their lives? Okay? How many people? How many people? Alright, next. Love this guy. Don't know why he's changed, but somehow Mr. Dan Aykroyd himself, that's the way I remember it's being spelled, Aykroyd, A-C-K-R-O-Y-W. Dan Aykroyd, a great comedian, right? Well, not anymore, because now that Y got flipped around and somehow ended up in the beginning of his name as Aykroyd, A-Y-K-R-O-Y-D. Or I guess he got two Y's now, right? Doesn't even make sense. So once again, original spelling, A-C-K-R-O-Y-D, and new spelling. Totally weird spelling. Totally weird. Okay, next, everybody's seen this video with, if you do Mandela research, you've seen the video with George Clooney and Gwen Stefani and what's that other lady's name? I forget the other lady from Ocean's 11, but they're all in the car and they're singing "We Are the Champions," and "Of the World" comes up and it's missing, and they're all like, "Oh my God, what is that? You know, what's going on?" They must have no clue about the Mandela Effect, right? Even though this lady, Gwen Stefani, as you know if you watch my videos, she wrote a Bananas song in which she totally misspells bananas, and they sing it in the same video. And who is driving the car? Mr. James Corden. I remember when this comedian came out with his program, James Corden. Now that guy has become James Corden, like Cordon Bleu. So weird, so weird. So the whole video where they're in the car, there's so many effects going on. Not just one. There's about 3 or 4 different references in that video, right? Because James Corden became James Corden. Okay. Don't believe me? Take some time, look it up. Alright, next, from Bizarre Foods on, I think, the Travel Channel, or one of those Discovery networks, right? Mr. Andrew Zimmerman from Bizarre Foods. Zimmerman, just like Bob Dylan, right? Zimmerman. Z-I-M-M-E-R-M-A-N, right? You watch that show today, the guy's name is totally shortened to Zimmern. Z-I-M-M-E-R-N. I wonder if you would come up to this guy and ask him, like, do you ever remember your name being the Zimmerman? I mean, what would these people say? You know, that's what it just boggles my mind, right? Okay, here's another one on the list. After Zimmerman, we got Wonder Woman herself, much like Superman, Miss Lynda Carter. This is the way I always remember it being spelled. And if you could find residuals of this spelling if you look up her college plays, right? You will see the spelling still. But if you see anything with Wonder Woman, any kind of poster or anything, it's going to be Lynda with a Y. Now, Lynda Carter. This is her technical name in this reality, right? When you ask people these questions, do they give you the second spelling? Do they look at you weird, like how do you remember that? Like, what is that? What is Lynda with an I? Has anyone ever said that? Can I get a hallelujah or an amen or some kind of comment down below if you remember it always being Lynda with the Y? That would be bizarre to me, at least. I don't know. And, maybe I'm giving them all away by showing you the original spelling first for all of them, but that's just what we do here. It's a flashcard system. It took me a long time to put this stuff together, guys, so if you want to appreciate my research, that's fine. Alright? Alright, next on the list we got Mrs. Lynda Carter. We got Mrs. Courteney Cox. Courteney. That's the way I always remember it, like Courteney Love, right? Courteney. Courteney. Okay? I bet you can guess how this has been simplified. If you were going to take one letter out, what would you take out? Like Sesame Street, right? If you're going to do a Mandela Effect, what would you take out? Well, of course, you're going to say the E, I assume, and shorten the Courteney to Courteney. Courteney. Courteney Cox. Okay, next we got another Hillary on the list here. We got Hilary Swank. Okay, and her name changed just like the other one, to one L, just like Hillary Clinton, but she didn't change back. She still has one L. Hillary Swank today, right, with one L, just to prove that it can happen. If you don't believe me about the other Hillary. Now this is one that just boggles my mind because everyone on the news references this guy. And many people reference him from one reality, and many other people reference him from another reality. So it's really weird, right? So check it out. A guy we supposedly killed, Mr. Muammar Gaddafi with a K. Gaddafi. Kadhafi. Muammar Gaddafi, right? Well, not anymore because now he's Muammar Gaddafi with a G. Gaddafi. Gaddafi. Okay, and Muammar actually changed too. So the original spelling is Mouammar. Gaddafi with the K, right? But that all switched around because Muammar, Muammar, is actually a different spelling. Gaddafi, right? Weird, freaking weird, guys. Twilight Zone level weirdness, as far as I'm concerned. All right, next we got an old Chicago Bear, I believe, right? Walter Payton. Not much into sports, but I seem to remember this being the quarterback, Walter Payton, and always thinking about his name being they're going to pay him a ton of money. Pay-ton. But it wasn't spelled that way. It was P-E-Y. Just like when I first saw the new guy, Peyton Manning, I noticed that it was the same spelling as this. And I thought, oh, same as Walter Payton, right? Well, no, not anymore, because now it's literally Walter Pay a Ton. P-A-Y-T-O-N instead of P-E-Y-T-O-N. Okay? An old favorite show of mine was the Larry Sanders Show. Okay? And that was starring Mr. Garry Shandling. Garry being spelled G-A-R-Y. Shandling. Right? Sometimes I even think it was Shandling. Like there was an E in there, but I not 100%, so I don't write it down, right? But Garry was definitely spelled regular, like G-A-R-Y. But they didn't shorten his name, they made it longer. G-A-R-R-Y. Garry Shandling. Weird, right? Doesn't always shorten. Next, we got one that many people seem to be either confused on, or there seem to be a couple different realities, right? So in my original reality, this lady's name was like this. McEntire, with the Irish spelling, M-C, big I, N-T-Y-R-E, like the island of Tyre, right? Reba McEntire. Okay, now I've actually seen some people actually spell it McEntire, M-C-E-N-T-Y-R-E too, but I don't ever remember that, right? I remember this. But now her name is like the entire world. Reba McEntire, M-C-E-N-T-I-R-E, right? That's not an Irish spelling at all, so whatever. It's totally changed. Okay. Like I said, I'm not a super big sports fan. I'm not a super knowledgeable on it, but I do seem to remember that this guy's name was Pete Rozelle, and he was the NFL commissioner or something like that, right? He was in charge of in charge of a team or something like that, right? Pete Rozelle, I think he's NFL commissioner, right? Pete Rozelle. Now he's not Rozelle, he's Rozelle with a Z. Rozelle. I guess you'd say it the same. Okay, Rozelle became Rozelle. The sports fans, I don't have a clue, so tell me what you remember. Do you remember Rozelle with an S or with a Z? Alright, next on the list, a lot of people have picked this up on the threads. Dr. Seuss, original spelling, Suess, right? And this drives people crazy because everyone is just damn sure that their dimension is the right dimension, right? So even though a lot of people remember this being the original spelling and this being the new spelling, a lot of people will tell you that the new spelling is the old spelling and vice versa. It's really weird, right? So it's just basically a switch of the E and the U. It's real slick. So Seuss is now Seuss. Fairly noticeable, right? E and U. Flip them around. Yeah, that one just really is really hard. It seems really hard for people to wrap their heads around the Dr. Seuss one. Alright, next one is another lady who's disappointed that the Luciferians didn't win the election. Oh my god, it's horrible! Crying in her soup. Oh, Miss Katy Perry, right? At least that's the way I remember her, being Katy Perry, basically. Katy Perry. I remember this on magazines. My buddy was a lonely guy. He's not around. He's not with us anymore. But he always had this lady's magazines, and I remember her being Katy Perry. You know, I could see him all the time in his house, right? Now she's Katy Perry, and you know, I just assumed that was, you know, her being cute. Like, oh, I'm Katy now because I'm not as young. I'm gonna have a young name, right? Well, no, that's not the case. Her name in this dimension is Katy Perry with the Y, I guess. I wonder what it says on her birth certificate. Now this one bothers a lot of people. A lot of people don't. Some people remember it. Some people don't. So I remember this girl being the most attractive girl, the only attractive girl on the Cosby Show, and that was Miss Lisa Bonet. And I even remember her Monet and the E having like 2 dots above it or something like that. Okay, some kind of enunciation or something above the E. Lisa Monet with an M. Now everybody wants to bone this chick, so she's Lisa Bonet now, and no affectation over the E or anything, right? So Bonet, B-O-N-E-T, looks really weird to me. Lisa Bonet. Some people don't even notice the difference, though. Monet, Bonet, they don't care. They don't care. They don't notice. They don't see. I don't know if it's the fluoride. I don't know if it's the chemtrail. But next on the list, we got a cartoonist. Everybody knows this one, who's doing Mandela Effects, right? Mr. Charles Schulz, creator of Snoopy and Charlie Brown. Charles Schulz being S-C-H-U-L-T-Z. Looks like a German spelling to me, right? Schulz. Well, not anymore, because now he's Mr. Charles Schulz. Wah, wah. Not right. Not right. Not right. Schulz, S-C-H-U-L-Z. Really weird. Look on any if you could find some Charlie Brown memorabilia with the T still on there, more power to you, because I think you got something worth a lot of money there. I found myself, you go back and watch my videos, I have a video where I found plenty of residual evidence for Mirror Mirror on the Wall. I have the original Snow White comic book. It has the actual Mirror Mirror and the Queen saying it and everything. Okay? And if you go back and watch my other residual Mirror Mirror thing, it will show you the many different versions of the rides at Disneyland, Disney World, and you will see how none of it makes any sense. You'll get all the different realities there, right? You'll get Mirror Mirror, you'll get Magic Mirror, you'll even just get one that says Mirror. And it's just, it doesn't even make sense why she would say that, but you check that stuff out for yourself on your own time. All right, next on the list, getting up there to number, I think it's number 30 here. Yes, number 30, Mrs. Kathie Lee Gifford, or Giffords. Seems like I remember Giffords, maybe, or maybe both. Kathie Lee, Kathie being Kathy, Lee Giffords, or Gifford, right? Now the Kathie has changed as well to Kathie with EI. This is what it is now, guys. Kathie Lee Gifford. No S on Gifford, right? Okay, next on the list we got Mr. Dick Cavett. And this guy comes up all the time. Okay? I think there's 3 or 4 effects that involve this guy. Okay? Mr. Dick Cavett, spelled like cassette. Cavettete. That's how you say it, Cavett. But in this reality, you say it the same way, apparently, but the E is missing at the end of the name. So he's Dick Cavett. It's been simplified. Been 1984, right? Totally simplified. Are you starting to love Big Brother yet? Anyway, I specifically remember because this was one of my one of the actors I appreciate more. I kind of like everything he does, right? And I was looking for. I even heard that he was supposed to be the Joker instead of Heath Ledger, right? So that's this guy, Mr. Samuel Rockwell, a good actor, and his name being Samuel Rockwell. Okay, Samuel. But not anymore, because it's been simplified. This is Mr. Sam Rockwell. Okay, Sam Rockwell. Okay, then next on the list we got this guy's a famous tennis player. Like I say, I don't know a lot about sports, but I have a memory of his name. Chris Everett. Everette. Mr. Chris Everett, right? Well, now he's Mr. Chris Everett. How many have even ever heard of Chris Everett? How many think they've heard of Mr. Everett, Chris Everett? Like I say, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm at 99%. I'm pretty sure. Okay. The rest of these I'm 100% on, like this guy, Gordon Ramsay. That is the original spelling for sure of the Hell Kitchen, right? Ramsay being like the king, right? King Ramses. Ramsey. Okay, but now he's Mr. Mr. Gordon Ramsay. 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 Why? Because they changed it. That's why. Because they changed it. This guy, I think there's a reason for his change, and there are so many things. If you go and just watch the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and let's do the time warp again, there are so many clues in that movie. It is just too numerous to go over. I would have to make a whole video just about that. But this guy appears in the movie, You know him, Meatloaf. I know him to be one name, Meatloaf, altogether. But in this reality, Meatloaf got separated from his loaf. The meat and the loaf are two different words. Okay? Not a big, huge change, but definitely a difference there, right? If you see this on the marquee, or if you see this, right? There's a difference there, right? Alright, this is the lady with the chimps or the gorillas. Seems to come up a lot. Diane Fossey. Diane being regular like Diane. The way I remember everybody's name being Diane. Diane, right? Diane Fossey. No, man. This is her name now. And if this isn't her name right now, or some of these second things don't ring true, that literally means they've changed again. Okay? These are research. These names are researched again and again by me to make sure that we are dealing with truths, okay? With residual evidence, okay? If it's changed back somehow, if it's this today, it changed back. And that's how you know that things are changing back and forth, right? So it used to be this, and then it became this. What is it in your reality today? Go and check it out. Next, we got somebody who ripped my family off, Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Baker being pretty normal, like a baker man, like a baker. Baker, Baker. Well, not anymore, because now it's this, Baker. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. The Bakers, with 2 Ks. Alright. This guy, I don't know him too much, but I seem to recall his name somewhere. I had at least seen the movie Hocus Pocus that he's in. Mr. Zachary Binks with a B. Zachary with a Z. Binks with a B. Zachary Binks. The guy's name is Thackeray now. Have you ever even heard of anyone named Thackeray in your life? Has anybody? Thackeray Binks in Hocus Pocus? I'm pretty sure that's a Disney movie. Another Disney reference, right? Now I know this is a fact to me. In my reality, I watched the movie Nixon a million times, guys. That's why I know his chiefs of staff and the people on his crew, and this is one of them, Mr. H.R. Halderman. Like alderman, like your local alderman. His name was Halderman. Halderman. Mr. Halderman. Because it was Halderman and Ehrlichman. And it was just highly noticeable that they both had man in their name, right? Kind of rolled off the tongue. Halderman and Ehrlichman. Okay? Nixon's chief of staff. The guy's name now is Haldeman. H.R. Haldeman. The R is missing out of his name. From Halderman to Haldeman. Okay? If you guys need to, you pause my videos for the spellings, right? I always hold the thing up as long as you need to get to the spelling, right? Next guy on the list, some people say he's a great force for humanity and peace. Some people say he's an Illuminati shill. There we go, Mr. Gandhi. And that's the way I remember him being. I believe it was Gandhi. Okay, but this I think has even changed a couple of times, right? But then I think it was Ghandhi, but now it's Gandhi. And this one, if you look at it, nobody notices the change, right? Gandhi. That's Gandhi, right? To this and then that. Gandhi now? Gundam style, right? Alright, this guy, I know for sure. Used to watch his show all the time, but you know what? It has too many incest and bestiality Illuminati jokes now. I have just totally boycotted this guy's work, so I encourage you guys to do the same. It's not The Simpsons. The Simpsons is a quality program. This is garbage. Seth MacFarlane, Illuminati shill, ready to move out of the country because Hillary and all the Illuminati, oh, they didn't win. They didn't win. MacFarlane, MC, big F-A-R-L-A-N-E, right? You guys know this if you're doing research. It's MacFarlane now. Seth MacFarlane, M-A-C, big F-A-R-L-A-N-E. What? Who are we now? Nobody knows. So many things just change on the drop of a dime. From one day to the next. It's just insane, guys. Alright, the next one we got is Sarah Michelle Gellar. And I've even heard that her kids are born at a different time in this reality, right? Different ages than they used to be. And Gellar being, I seem to remember there being a Gellar in astronomy research or something like that, right? G-E-L-L-E-R, I think that's the way it was spelled in astrological terms too. Sarah Michelle Gellar, now it's Gellar, G-E-L-L-A-R, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Gellar, sound familiar to you? Just leave it. Okay, sorry, I got distracted there for a minute, you guys. Where were we here? Sarah Michelle Gellar, no Gellar. Okay, the next one we got is from Hanna-Barbera. Mr. William Hanna from Hanna-Barbera, right? The Jetsons, right? Everybody remembers this. Another cartoon weird thing, right? Like Charles Schultz, H-A-N-N-A-H. No, sorry. Now it's this, guys. Go watch any cartoon and look at Hanna-Barbera and tell me if even the symmetry of the logo makes sense to you, with Hanna being 5 letters instead of 6, right? H-A-N-N-A. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Alright, the next guy. This is famous scientist who I'm sure has to do, you know, if CERN's going to change something, it's going to change its own history, right? That's Mr. Max Planck, and this is the way I remember it being. Max Planck, electromagnetic pioneer, M-A-X-P-L-A-N-K, Planck. That's how I remember it, right? Well, it seems someone added an extra letter into his name. Planck. P-L-A-N-C-K. The C is the extra letter, right? Okay, Max Planck. Max Planck. There's probably no scientist even more important as far as electromagnetical research and CERN goes, right? You guys got to pick up, there's little things here and there in these effects that you got to pick up. Alright, the next one. Now this one is another thing that comes up in the Rocky Horror Picture Show at the very end. The transvestite character that Tim Curry plays says, "Whatever happened to this lady?" And that is the King Kong actress, Fay Wray. This being the original spelling, okay? Faye, F-A-Y-E, and Ray, okay? I have seen multiple residual evidences of this lady's original name. This is it, right here. No doubt about it, guys. Now it's this. And when you go watch Rocky Horror Picture Show and put on closed captions and see how he spells Fay Ray at the end of Rocky Horror. Get a clue, guys. Go watch Rocky Horror. Get a clue. There you go. Fay Ray. Fay Ray. Alright, next guy. Another apropos. Seemed like an apropos one, right? The Invisible Man from way back in the day. Claude Rains. Claude Rains. Rains being Raines. Rains, okay? Claude Rains. Now, Claude just reigns, like regular rain. Rains. Claude Rains, the Invisible Man. Is this not weird to anyone? I guess it makes sense, but that's more like someone's name, right? This is more like if it was a cartoon or something. Like a faux version of reality, right? Claude Rains. Anyway, alright, then we got the next guy on the list. Famous guy who's sticking up for our Second Amendment rights. The right to bear arms. Charlton Heston. Okay, that's the way I remember it. Charleston. Like doing the Charleston? Or a lot of people remember it this way. Charlton Heston? Seems like a lot of people remember it that way. Could be wrong. I'm about 95% on this one. Charlton Heston became Charlton Heston. Charlton. And I think this one even changed after the guy passed away in both realities, right? Heston. Planet of the Apes reference, right? You guys seeing the pattern? You getting the pattern yet? Because it's semi-obvious. It's semi-obvious. This is another guy. He's not real well known. He's a singer-songwriter. His name is Eddie Rabbitt. Rabbit, spelled the wrong way originally. Rabbit has been corrected to have the two B's in it. Now his name is Eddie Rabbitt. like if Eddie and what's his name? Eddie Valiant and Roger Rabbit got together, you would have Eddie Rabbitt, right? I guess that's just a coincidence, but anyway. Alright, next on the list we got another guy. Okay, an older actor from England, an English actor, Mr. Jack Dawkins. Dawkins with D. Well, now this guy's name is Jack Hawkins. Hawkins, like Hawkins' Lab in Stranger Things, right? Bit of a stretch, but Hawkins, that name seems to come up a lot in religious or fiction that has to do with Mandela effects, right? Hawkins seems to come up a lot. Okay, then we got, we're on number 51, or 52. Mr. Alec McGuinness. Now, his name was either McGuinness, like the beer, MC Big Guinnes, or like it was below, McGinnis. Now, there are two memories of this. People have some memories of this spelling, and some people have memories of this spelling. But now it's not even McGuinness. The guy's name is Alec Guinness. The Mick part is gone. The Irish part, or Scottish, or whatever it was, is gone out of this guy's name. He's just Alec Guinness. Not Alec McGuinness. Alright, now this, I'm about 90% sure on this guy from Chips, right? I seem to remember him being Eric Estrada with a C. But then part of me wants to say it's this way because it is now, you know. So I'm a little conflicted on this one, about 90%. Okay, that it was originally he actually had a C in his name. But you know, a lot of people also have the memory of the K, so that's an iffy one anyway. Should have saved that for the end. All right, and then we'll do a couple more. All right, the Somers girls. We're gonna do Miss Donna Somers. All right, Donna Somers. Okay, one spelling is this way. One spelling is this way. She's not Donna Summers anymore. She's Donna Summer. Okay? I seem to remember this, Summers. But then there's this too. Okay, and then right along with her, you got Suzanne Somers. The same way, right? Suzanne Somers. Sommers. Which is also changed to Somers. Somers. So there's the two Somers girls. Both have changed. Then we got this guy. He's kind of a newer actor. Josh Duhamel. Or Josh Duhamel. Could be D-U-C-H. Could be D-U-S-H. Could even be D-U-E-S-H-A-M-L. Duhamel. Josh Duhamel. Duhamel. Now the guy is Duhamel. Josh Duhamel. Not like he's a douche anymore, right? He's Duhamel. Anyway. I seem to remember that one. Alright, then we got the Coen brothers. I remember them being like this kind of Coen. But now they're like this kind of Coen. Both names are from the same root word, so it doesn't make much difference, but it is a difference. This reality has the H. Okay? I love their work. Then we got a guy who passed away recently, Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's Philip with two L's, and he became Philip with one L. Philip with one L. Which, if you watch Mr. Robot 2, there's a Philip character, and sometimes the spelling of his name seems to change from two L's to one L. But it's not 100%, right? So I don't talk about it a lot. There we got Philip Seymour Hoffman. And then last on the list, before I continue into the next video, we have Marilyn Monroe's maiden name originally being Baker, just like Jim and Tammy Faye, right? But in this reality, Marilyn Monroe's maiden name is originally Mortensen. And everyone who remembers Baker is sadly mistaken. So anyway, with that, I'll come back at you guys in a little bit with the rest of the names and hopefully some other sorted stuff off the list.
I slowly return.